How's it going, guys? I'm Connor from Running Warehouse. Today I'm here with Outsole, product line manager here at Ultra, and today we are going to be talking about their newest carbon-plated racer, the Altra Vanish Carbon. Now, Alex, I'm extremely excited to run in this shoe. It's very different than pretty much any other product on the market, but this shoe didn't just appear overnight. It took years of development and tinkering to get the final product. Can you give us a little bit of a rundown on some of the early development of this shoe and some of the trials and errors you went through to get to the final product?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've been working on this product since September of 2019. Really just wanted to create the best possible racing solution for not only our consumers, but even kind of new consumers to the brand. And really we just started with prototyping, and that began with, even taking some of our kind of pre-existing or previous iterations of product like the Vanish R, testing new foams, new compounds, also working with an old shoe as well, the Kayenta, really trying to figure out the best possible kind of setup from a geometry standpoint, just making sure that we had the best possible iterations for this consumer and for that person looking for speed with an Ultra package.
Yeah, and when you talk about shoes like the Kayenta or the early Vanish, those were a little bit more low profile shoes, and what we ended up with is a shoe that's a little bit more on trend with that high level of cushioning, really that protection to go the marathon. What did you learn from those early prototype rounds, and then how did you kind of end up going more that max cushioning route?
Yeah, absolutely. So we did work, as I said, we had some Vanish R samples that we tried, a little bit lower profile to your point, that really the feedback from our wear testers and our athletes was they wanted more underfoot. So I think, as they always say, kind of the half point of the marathon starts at mile 20, and that's really where we wanted to focus with this product, was just having a little bit more substance underneath, making sure that they didn't feel beat up. So we actually began to just slowly grow the stack height with the prototypes, and what we really found was that optimal stack height of 33 millimeters for this product, and that was just through prototyping.
And when you talk about cushioning, you also got to talk about the foam compounds. The super foam is the hot topic right now. And I know you guys went through several different iterations of foam to try to get that right softness, that right responsiveness. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got started in the foams, what you used, and then what you ended up using for that final version?
Absolutely, yeah. So through the testing, we actually utilized 4 different types of foam. 2 were EVA iterations, just different blends, right? So different kind of cake batter. We also used a beaded foam as well. Really good response with that one, but we didn't get the cushioning that we wanted. So we actually kind of went back after our first round of prototypes and really pushed for this new foam. So this Ego Pro, which we actually ended up with, which is it's a supercritical TPE based foam, the lightest weight foam that we've ever actually used as a brand, but also the most responsive and the most cushioned. So we really feel like it's the best of both worlds. We're able to get unbelievable amount of performance out of this while still kind of feeling lightweight, still feeling very good on foot.
Yeah, and that foam is what gives that responsiveness, gives that super feel, but the foam works with the carbon plate, and I know you guys went through several iterations, and the final plate you ended up with is very different from anything on the market. Can you tell us about what you kind of learned when you were testing the different plates, what your athletes liked, what they didn't like, and then how you ended up on this very unique forked plate?
Absolutely, yeah. We went through 3 different design iterations of the plate and actually 2 different executions of those plates. So in total, we actually had 6 different plates. And they varied. One was a full length kind of solid plate, very similar to what you see out there right now. Another was a full length kind of segmented plate in the forefoot. And then the third was actually what we ended up going with, and it was this kind of forefoot, midfoot plate that was segmented. Really allowed for still kind of that natural feel underfoot, really allows the foot and the shoe to work together, but still provides a really nice, efficient roll off. You're able to kind of charge that foam, but the plate itself is actually asymmetrically flexible, allows for that natural dorsiflexion of the foot. So we don't want to just kind of cast the foot at all with this product, but it still allows for a very efficient kind of toe off and kind of propulsion phase. So the shoe itself is actually really flexible. As you kind of land and you begin to load, but at toe off it actually becomes more rigid, so really efficient all the way through. And we found that not only from our wear testers in a lab, but we are actually able to validate that with some of our field testing with athletes like Andy Potts. So we were able to kind of compare his both subjective feedback and actually look at the numbers, not only his numbers, but also what was in the lab, and we found that this was the best possible setup with this plate.
So from a prototyping standpoint, it seems like it was really a lot of testing stack heights, testing that plates. That was really what was the main factor in performance and kind of getting that final product. Is there anything you can tell us about the outsole of this shoe that changed, or was there kind of an original philosophy that stuck throughout the prototyping process?
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely more the latter of just wanted to find a philosophy, and quite honestly, it was to eliminate as much of the outsole as we possibly could. It helps to save weight, but obviously with wear, we wanted to make sure that we addressed that. One of the few things that we did, slight adjustment on the medial side, so just right through here, we actually extended the outsole just slightly, just to help inherently get a little bit more stability, a little bit more stable platform on there. We don't want to have this kind of slapping or lever effect at all. This just helps to kind of slow down and create a little bit more natural feel underfoot. Through the forefoot, we did kind of sipe it or kind of cut into it a little bit. Also just to help allow the plate to do what the plate needs to do, right? And we still want to make sure it's flexible, lateral to medial. We don't want to take away any of that flexibility. Don't want it to be overly rigid. Don't want it to feel like a cast. But this outsole design really just helps to keep the foot moving as naturally as we possibly can.
And then kind of finishing the shoe off, you've got the upper, and Ultra is known for their unique fit. Did this shoe have a pretty similar fit throughout? I know the Vanish R was some inspiration for this shoe. Is that going to fit fairly similar?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're actually utilizing the same fit that we currently have in the line with the Rivera and the Rivera 2, which will be coming out. So it's a little bit sleeker, a little bit slimmer. We feel it's actually perfect for a race product because it does, kind of holds the foot a little bit more snug, but it still allows for toe splay, still allows your toes to kind of breathe naturally through there. If you compare it with some of our other product, it looks a little bit sleeker, but when you actually compare it with the marketplace, still that very signature classic foot shape fit here. So we feel it's very unique. We didn't want to make a cast on the foot. That was something that we continue to talk about. We wanted the foot to kind of work naturally with the shoe and vice versa. And we feel like this fit is really tuned for this type of shoe and this kind of high performance product in the race space.
Oh, perfect, Alex. It's extremely exciting to kind of see the behind the scenes look at an elite carbon plated racer like the Vanish Carbon and see what goes on behind the scenes and how you get from those early prototype rounds to final version. If you're looking to get the Ultra Vanish Carbon on your feet, it'll be available here at Running Warehouse.